Good morning. How are you? I'm on about the 11 to 9th million take this morning and it's not going well. I think it's because I got caught out about how dark it was this morning. Um, how old am I? The days get shorter as we get into December. It gets light later and this always catches me out. How crazy. I ought to have really got my head around that by now. The other thing that sort of caught me out was that Advent began yesterday. Of course, I knew it was coming, but I've got kind of caught up and trapped into the secular thing of Advent, which is that it begins on December the 1st, because that's when we get the little bits of chocolate in the Advent calendar, isn't it? And I'm quite motivated by chocolate. But of course, Advent actually begins 4 Sundays before Christmas, and that means it began yesterday within the church calendar. Sort of crept up on us rather. And I've been reflecting on what Advent means, and it's a little bit like Lent. And I don't mean that to sound miserable, but it is a period of waiting in the church. And Lent is the period where we build up to Easter, of course, and Advent is a period of waiting for Christmas. We know the baby is coming. We know he's going to be born. We know we have this wonderful foresight because we've done it so many times. We know where we're heading. It's a different kind of waiting though, isn't it? We're not waiting for death, we're waiting for birth. And ultimately Easter is a resurrection, but that Lenten period is very sober. I feel like the waiting that we do in Advent is more a sense of excitement, really. There's anticipation, there's hope. The themes of Advent are very positive around hope and joy and peace and love. They're the 4 themes for each of the Sundays. And we're having a strange Advent this year. We won't be doing Christmas things in quite the way that we have done them in previous years. In fact, the English churches weren't even open yesterday. Not open, the buildings weren't open for worship. And we're being more creative. We've got an online Christingle next Sunday, which will be a bit of a riot, I think. But we are lurching towards Christmas now with a sense of hope and anticipation. And it's quite popular to spend a little bit of time during Advent reflecting and spending more time with God, much in the same way that we might really know we should be doing in Lent. We might do a Lent course and we might spend more time in Scripture, but actually we should be doing that in Advent too, or we are encouraged to do that in Advent. And so I've bought a book. Let me show you. Oh, sorry, big noise. We're too far in to do 11 to 8th millionth in one take. So I bought this book, which I'm going to read daily. Every day there's a different poem by R.S. Thomas, and then Caris Walsh has written a reflection on it. Funnily enough, I know I'm not the only vicar in the diocese who's chosen that book completely by chance. Several of us have spotted that this is a good one to be doing. The other thing I've bought is this book. I'm a sucker for books, can you tell? Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's leather bound. It's brand new. It's leather bound. And it's a new book of prayer. And it just feels like the sort of book you want to own and I want to stroke and enjoy. And it's called Every Moment Holy because it's a book of prayers that somebody's written for every occasion. There's a prayer in there for how to cope with road rage. There's prayers for waiting in a queue. Prayers for putting your children to bed. Prayers to give thanks for friends, to give thanks for the hot water coming out of the tap. All sorts of funny little things, but also some very big and important things. And I'm going to spend some time with that prayer book too. Not because I actually need all of those prayers, but sometimes when we read somebody else's prayers, it inspires our own. And I'm hoping for inspiration. It's not too late to join in. And I know we're all incredibly busy, but I tell you what else I know, and that is that if we pause for a moment and just give 2 or 3 minutes to God, make space to connect with Him, to give thanks to him for something about our day, to make sure that we have listened to him and what he would have us do, then the rest of the day will go so much better. I know that from deep experience. So I'm inviting you today and for the rest of Advent to join me in spending time in reflection, just a couple of minutes a day, just to sit and a pause, maybe while you have your cup of tea. Make sure that the radio's off, there's no telly, your phone's on silent, and just for those 2 minutes it takes, just say, God, I give you these minutes. Thank you for what would you have me hear? I give you these 2 minutes. Thank you for what you need to tell me. Something like that. See what happens. You might be surprised. I hope you have a good day today. I'm waiting for the sun to come up. That will be my first highlight, and I shall be giving thanks for that. I shall spend some time with my 2 books later. And I haven't dared look at the diary yet. It was enough to get this done this morning. I shall be praying for you all, though. Keep in touch. Let's see how Advent goes for us all. And I hope you have a good day. Lots of love and God bless. Bye-bye.